What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're playing Motorsport Manager on the iOS platform. So this is the prequel to what is supposed to be the PC version, which is coming out in September. So can't wait for that release. I've been playing this for a few months, I suppose, on and off here and there. First time I actually played this is when I was on my way to England for the second time, I believe, and that just made the whole plane journey that much easier. So I thought I'd give this game a bit of a go in a video, and if you guys do enjoy it, let me know, smash the like button, and maybe I'll make a career mode series out of this possibly. So this is my current team, what I've been recording with off camera. As you can see, my bank balance and my monthly earnings are not good, but I think we're in like tier 3, tier 4. So it's not too bad, and we're actually on the recovery. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start a brand new career mode series. Just start from scratch for this one-off video. So we'll see how we go. So this is the hub for Motorsport Manager. We're starting brand new career mode, and I apologize if I'm not looking up at the camera. I simply have to do it to follow what's going on with the game. So we're going to set our name. It's going to be my regular name, so no surprises there. What I will leave to you guys is the team name. I'm not really good at naming teams or having any kind of influence like that, so I'm going to leave the team name to you guys, and for the moment it's just going to be called Lag Bubble Racing for the moment. So in the comments, put down a team suggestion, and if you see like a really good name in the comments, then make sure you thumbs it up, because that'd be awesome. So we'll go with that. What I was running with before, I think I was running with like an orange team, something a little bit different, and we'll go with that. That is the team logo, team name, everything. That's what our car provisionally looks like at the moment. So here we go. Let's set off for a new career managing and creating our own F1 team. It's going to be a completely different dynamic. In the past, I've been the driver, and I've probably frustrated the hell out of my team members, engineers, everyone. And now I'm on the other side of the fence. So it's time for my drivers to screw me over. So we're starting off in the 2014 calendar year. We have two choices in Tier 4. We can go for the British Racing Series, or we can go for the Australian one. Being from this part of the world, why not? Let's go to the Australian Series. The prize fund is $4 million if we win. There's 6 races in the championship, and there's also 6 teams. So let's see how we go. Hopefully we can come away with a decent championship position. Oh, I don't know. So we start off with $1.5 million and a monthly profit of almost $2,000. So that's what we have to start off with. We'll go over to the sponsors. Sponsorship money can pay you monthly costs, and your primary sponsor will give you qualifying and race targets to beat. Completing these objectives will boost your bank balance. So we'll have to get a sponsor on board. I believe you can find 3 sponsors. So if you go for a higher tier sponsor, like the more they pay you, the higher expectations they have of you. And if you don't perform well, then it's more likely that you're going to get dropped by your sponsor. So the first one we have is Trust Banking. They'll give us $32,000 of monthly income, and we'll get a bonus of $105,000 if we meet the objectives in qualifying, and for the race, if we meet those objectives, it's $87,000. Now we have some secondary sponsors to find, so we're going to find a second one. We have Hanks Franks, which give us $16,000 per month. But it's also a shorter term deal. So I'm going to go for the shorter one in the hope that I can attract a better one after 6 months. So I'm really going for more of an aggressive start. This whole playthrough here is going to be very aggressive. I'm really going to go for it and see what we're going to go hard or go home, really. We have no other option for the second one, so we'll sign that. Thank you very much. Lag Bubble Racing have signed a 14-month sponsor with Hanks Franks. Ka-ching. Okay, so we have 3 tiers of car development. We have aerodynamics, design, and manufacturing. When you click on view performance, you'll see exactly what those factors attribute to. So aerodynamics will give you outright speed, whereas manufacturing will give you reliability and better pit stops, and also better tyre wear, and also with design, that'll give you better mechanical grip and that kind of thing. So that's the car and what it looks like at the moment. Let's introduce you to the drivers. I, of course, don't know who they are at the moment, but they're ranked 38 out of 100. Nigel, the expert. And this is Nigel Mansell, probably is. Each team has 2 drivers. Both of your drivers score points for the team and can help you win the championships. So we have Zion Frisbee, who is 33 years of age, and we have Alyssa Alistine, who is 33 years of age as well. Both drivers are equal status it looks like Xeon is slightly faster, better overtaking, better smoothness, whereas Alyssa, I think she's a little bit slower in all aspects, even consistency. So if we're going to get rid of any of the drivers, they're both pretty average, to be honest. This is the starting point in the career mode, so you're not going to get awesome drivers right from the outset. So we'll be looking to replace these drivers maybe after the first season or something like that. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm probably going to work on the car a little bit. I've got to think ahead here. We just can't jump straight into the race. We've got to make the car just that slightly bit better. We'll increase the staff to about 8 on all factions of the car there. So we'll go with that. And we'll also possibly invest in some young drivers, because long term, I think going the young driver route is probably the way to go, because I guess established drivers can sometimes not be as good as young drivers if your young driver development program is really good, and their wages can also be higher if you get an experienced driver. So we don't have any young drivers at the moment. We'll need to invest in the young driver program. We'll kick up the investment level to level 2, and now we have a scout who is looking for a young driver for us, so maybe he'll come into play, or she will come into play in the second season. But it's time to start our very first race. I've done enough waffling on. I just thought I'd give you guys kind of a base introduction towards this game for some people who haven't seen it already. So we'll go off to qualifying for the first race. I'm not too sure which one that'll be. We're at the Australian Grand Prix Series, and it looks like we're off to Brisbane. So my home race in the very first race of this career mode series. The suggested setup is neutral in terms of the gear ratios, and then also for aerodynamics that is neutral as well. So a fairly balanced setup, you've got to say. We've got to qualify 6th or above to get 105 grand in the bank, which will really help towards either driver development, car development, that kind of thing. So it's going to be very important to us to impress right off in the first race. Okay, so here we are in qualifying. We have a 12-minute session. I'm going to send out my drivers. I don't need to know about setup. You can see the gear ratio at the top of the screen there. That's supposed to be on neutral, and aerodynamics is on neutral as well. That was the recommended suggestion from the engineer. I'm going to send off my driver on softs for 1 lap. And with my other driver, Estelin, I'm going to change the setup slightly and go towards acceleration with the gear ratio. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully we can get a good qualifying effort in our first race. Both drivers are starting their fast laps now. They've got some clean air, which is good. You can see at the third sector there, coming up to the final corner, there is a lot of traffic there, so that should help us. First lap from Frisbee, it goes P5, and Estelin, she goes P7 as well. So they'll come back to the pits now. I only set them for 1 run. Send the drivers out for another run on soft tyres. As I was going to say, if your driver is not really consistent, so to speak, then it's better to send them off for 2 laps, just in case they make a mistake on their first lap. So we'll fast forward, we'll see how these runs go. Normally in these qualifying sessions, depending on how long the lap is, you'll normally get 2 runs in, 2 one-lap runs, or if it's a short lap time, you'll probably get 3 runs in. But we've got 2 minutes left in the session. We'll have time to just set these laps here, and then I think that will be it. Frisbee goes P6, and Estelin, she doesn't move up any at all. I changed her setup a little bit because she was a slower driver, and if she was going to beat the other guy, then I would have changed the setup for the other guy as well. So it's P7 now, and 11th place for the start of the Brisbane Grand Prix. And unfortunately, we miss out on our sponsorship objective by 1 place. We'll set Estelin on the hard tyres, and we'll leave Frisbee on the soft compound. We've got 22 laps, so I think it may be like a 2-stop. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll start the race now. Our very first race here in Motorsport Manager. The goal for us is to finish in the top 6, and we'll get a sponsorship bonus of $87,000. So that's going to be quite substantial for us at the start of our career mode series. So without further ado, let's get this race underway. 5 red lights. There's possibly the threat of weather, but we'll have to wait and see. Estelin gets off to a beastly start. Goes from 11th all the way up to 7th now, and is almost putting pressure on the first driver here, Frisbee, who moves up to P4. So it's been a great start for us so far. We'll tell Estelin, got it? We'll tell her to conserve, because just bear in mind, I'm thinking about the end of the race already. We want her to have better tyre wear towards the end of the race, whereas Frisbee, he's got the soft tyres on. We're going to tell him to push, and we'll fast forward. End of the first lap, and Frisbee has moved up into P2. He's looking very threatening here. possibly going to take the lead of the race here. Estelin is holding ground in P9, just like I thought she would. But once everyone else starts to make their first pit stop, that's when I'll tell Estelin to push. Meanwhile, Frisbee takes the lead of the race. So great start so far. Lap 3 now, and Frisbee has dropped back to second place. Maybe pushed a little bit too hard. His tyres are starting to go off now. They're more than halfway past their tyre life now. And Estelin, she's only used up less than a quarter of her tyre life so far. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag her out of conserving. I'm going to get her to up the pace a little bit, because now is the time when some people might start to do the undercut now. So we'll get ready for Frisbee. I'll tell him, I don't know if I want to go another lap. I think once you get to the final quarter of the tyre wear, that's when the drop-off really starts to come into effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to pit, put on a set of hard tyres, and I don't know, maybe we'll do one stop from here. I don't think a set of primes will last all the way to the end of the race if he pits now. So it's going to be one more stop after this, possibly a set of options to the end. So Frisbee, good stop, emerges pretty much in last place. He is the first to stop, so he's going to enjoy the undercut. I'll tell him to push for this first lap or so, and we'll see how we go. And just like that, the leaders have stopped on the very next lap. So Frisbee gets the undercut, rejoins. Well, wow, just is so far ahead of the guy who was actually in first in the previous lap. So this is looking very good for Frisbee at the moment. He's already caught up to the back of Estelin. I will get her to conserve, and hopefully that can allow Frisbee to slide on past. Yes, Frisbee goes to second, and Estelin drops down to P4. So it has worked out pretty well so far. Coming up to half race distance, you can see the kind of lead that Frisbee has at the moment. It is 12.9 seconds. Estelin, she's still running in third place. She's essentially being a rear gunner for Frisbee, who is absolutely romping away with this race at the moment. We're going to get ready to stop Estelin in a few moments. I think we're going to drag her into the pits now and put on a set of hard tyres and run her to the end. So she's going to do a one stop, and she's going to hold up all the cars behind so that Frisbee can possibly get an even bigger lead. So that's what I'm hoping for. Frisbee, he's going to stop in another lap or two, and he's going to put on a set of hard tyres to the end. Generally speaking, I always find that the hard tyres are kind of the better race compound. I always feel like the options aren't that beneficial to your race strategy, to be honest. Like the pace that the options give you isn't that great over the primes, because they're just that more durable, and they just seem to work better in the races. That's how I feel anyway. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for, you know, driving tips or anything like that, driving trips, I'm not driving, but if you have any tips about this game, and if there's anything I can do better, then make sure you let me know down in the comments, because I'm sure there are plenty of things that I'm doing wrong. So at this very moment in time, Frisbee rejoins in the lead now after everyone else has made their pit stops. The cars behind, I will say, have the soft compound tyres on. They're 20 seconds behind. It's looking pretty good at the moment. Now the gap resets, it's actually 3 seconds. So Frisbee is going to have a very hard time maintaining the lead of this race. I think it's essentially gone here. There's no way he can defend against someone on fresher option tyres to the end of this race. However, they may need to stop again. We'll switch over to Estelin, and she is down in position 7. So just bear in mind, both of my drivers are going to the end of the race regardless. We're not making any more pit stops here. So fingers crossed, maybe the guy in the lead can make another stop, and that would promote us back into the lead. So 7 laps left to go in this race. It looks like we're in a pretty good seat at the moment. I'm debating whether to let Frisbee continue on the pace that he is, but I'm also wary about his tyre wear, and I want him to possibly conserve. The gap to the leader in front is 19 seconds, so effectively now, even if he does stop, it's probably likely that he's going to overtake us, maybe even rejoin in the lead. At the moment, Frisbee drops down to third place. We're going to fast forward to the end of the race here, because we're stuck on what we've got at the moment. If we can finish in third, after the kind of start that we had, he started in P7, to come away with a podium in our first race, I think that would be a magnificent achievement. He joined us now in lap 19. A couple more cars have come into the pits, and that elevates Frisbee back up into the lead of the race. However, Warren, who is the effective race leader, or was before he made his final pit stop, he's on soft tyres again. He retakes the lead, and that is us out of a winning position, unfortunately. At the moment, Estelin is still in P5, so that's been a very good race from her so far, and it looks like the one stop may just work out for us here. Just one more lap to go, and we may get our first podium in our very first race on Motorsport Manager. We have a dilemma. We are not going to pit because there's only one lap left to go, so it'll be absolutely crazy. We'd be shooting ourselves in the foot if we stopped at this point. So hopefully they can make it. Hopefully their tyres don't fall off the cliff as Frisbee drops down to P3. There is a massive gap from Frisbee back to Estelin. But Frisbee comes across the line, finishes in third to get our first podium in our very first race in Motorsport Manager. Does Estelin hang on? Yes, she does. She finishes in P5. So both of our drivers there doing really well and pretty much outperforming what we were expected of by our sponsor objectives. So that was pretty good. So there's the results for the Brisbane Grand Prix. Our driver ends up 31 seconds off the pace. However, we did finish on the podium. Driver standings look good. And the constructors, Lag Bubble Racing, are in P2. Anything really worthy to read there? Apparently we fired someone. Got fired by Benjamin Daly today. Hashtag dumbass, hashtag big mistake, hashtag so wrong. Well, I didn't know you worked for me, so can't really blame me. If we take a look at our car development, we are running near capacity with our staff, so what do you got to do then? If you've run out of staff to hire, you then need to upgrade your headquarters, so you can either upgrade your aerodynamics wind tunnel, or you can upgrade your design center or your manufacturing factory. So what I'm going to go for first is probably manufacturing. I probably want to have a car that's a little bit more reliable, so we'll go with that. And gradually over every single episode, we're going to continue to upgrade our car, work on getting young drivers in, and really just overall increasing our standing within the team and try and cement ourselves near the top of the field. So it's going to take 2 races to upgrade the manufacturing headquarters. What I've also done as well is I've gone ahead and I've upgraded the aerodynamics as well, because that is a pretty important facet of Formula 1. So we are going to move off to the next race now. I'm not too sure which one that is going to be, but hopefully we can continue our good run of form and maybe get another podium for this race. Round 2 of 6. We're off to the Gibson Desert for qualifying. High chance of safety car 2. 2 minutes 15 left in the session. We are sending out our drivers with very little time to spare. Currently sitting in 3rd and 4th at the moment, so it's looking pretty good at the moment. Hopefully we can get even further up the field. 1st and 2nd sector times don't look encouraging. Not even personal best there for either driver. And we finish 3rd and 4th for the Gibson Desert Grand Prix. And we get the sponsor bonus of 105 grand. So that's that was well needed for us there. It's race time. It's the Gibson Desert Grand Prix. It's Tiametmarduk commentating for you today. We have 2 of our drivers inside the top 4. We're going on a split strategy once again. We've got Estelin on the soft compound tyres, and we've got Frisbee on the hard compound. So hopefully he can be the rear gunner for Estelin. Track wetness, thank you very much. I don't think weather will be too much of a factor in this Grand Prix. But 5 red lights, and away we go. And Frisbee got off to absolutely dreadful start. How do you go from 4th place to 10th? Estelin moves up to 2nd place, so good start from her so far. 4 laps into the race now, and Estelin has dropped down a little bit. So what we're going to do is, since she's in a little bit of traffic at the moment, we're going to get her to conserve, since she can't find a way in front of Warren, who was the previous race winner from the first round. So we're going to bide our time at the moment, and maybe once the drivers in front of us make their pit stops, then we're going to gun it and push and maybe work the overcut. So hopefully it can work out for us. Lap 5 now, and cars are in the pits. Estelin now moves to the lead of this Grand Prix, and now it is time to push. We're going to push, and we're going to put on a set of... Where is the pit button? We're going to put on a set of hard tyres and go deep into this race and maybe go on options to the end of the race. So we'll have to wait and see. Frisbee, who hasn't stopped yet either, he's on the hard compound tyres. He's chilling on some pretty good tyre wear there. And we're probably going to leave him out for a few more laps. Maybe till about lap 10 and maybe put the hard tyre compounds on again. So it's all about pushing now for Estelin. She's going to come into the pits now. And we're going to see if this strategy has worked out. Where is Warren? I think he's a few cars in front. So Estelin doesn't have track position at the moment, but what she does have is fresher tyres. And in Motorsport Manager, I feel like if you have fresh tyres, or if you're good on your tyres, it is really going to help you, especially at the back end of the races. Like, overtaking, it doesn't... like having track position doesn't mean too much so long as you've got fresh tyres. I feel like that is, I guess, more important in this game. We're going to keep Frisbee out for one extra lap than what I said. We're going to pit him now, and we're going to put on another set of hard compound tyres. See, like, what I normally do with the second driver is possibly put them on a one-stop and just do something a little bit different, and hopefully he can make it to the back end of this race now on a set of hard compound tyres, sorry. I can't speak today. Doing this different kind of video is really catching me off guard today. Ah, shit. I left Estelin on push for a whole stint, and now it's only lap 13, and now she needs a new set of hard compound tyres. We're going to put her on neutral, pit, and then go on a set of hards. See, all that pushing that she did is she burned through the life of our hard compound tyres, and now I was hopefully going to stop her in maybe 5 laps time and put her on a set of softs, but that strategy has kind of gone out the window now. Estelin making moves, back up into P4. Lap 19 here, and Estelin has lost pace with the top 4 there. But she has been conserving a lot. She's going to go to the end of the race on her current set of hard tyres, maybe. Alright, she's just been overtaken for 3rd place, so she's lost that position. We're going to stop her in at this lap and put on a set of soft compound tyres, going against the grain of what I normally do. We're going to get her on a fresh set of soft tyres. P6, P7, no, still P6. And with quite a bit of margin to make up in the last 4 laps of this race. Hopefully it can work out. Both of our drivers now have switched to soft compound tyres, and they're on full attack mode, trying to get as many positions as we can in these final few laps. Estelin overtakes a couple of people who have re-emerged from the pits. She is just behind another car, and hopefully she can get into P4. Tyres are in good condition. I bloody hope they're in good condition. You just freaking stopped a lap ago. And there we go, on the straight. Estelin moves into P4. Next up is 3rd place. They're about 8 seconds in front, so it's going to take an almighty push from here. They're on the hard compound tyres though, but they're nowhere near falling off the cliff. As we say that, we've been overtaken for P4 once again. Bit of a train here. It's going to be interesting to see who emerges out in front. Estelin drops another place. What is she doing? Looks like there's a lap car getting in the way as well, which is a little bit frustrating. Can Estelin get around it, please? There's 2 laps left in this Grand Prix. 1 lap now as the leader crosses the line. Frisbee's tyres. He is falling off the cliff there. I just noticed that now. Estelin, it's the final lap. She's about to hit the cliff, so we're going to put her on neutral. And hopefully that balanced approach can get a one final position on this last lap. There's slow cars up in front. Someone is going really slowly, and it's holding up the entire train. Please let Estelin go through there. She's still in 6th at the moment. She's at the tail of this train. And this is the final straight. The run up to the line. She can't improve. She actually loses a lot of momentum there on the run up to the line. And it's 6th and 7th for the Gibson Desert Grand Prix. That's a very harsh sponsor objective. They finished 2nd or above. That is a very, very high ask for a brand new team. 79 seconds off the pace and 1 lap down. We got the strategy wrong there. I tried playing on the long game with 1 less stop, and then I realised near the race end that possibly that wasn't the way to go. So, bit of a compromise strategy there, but P6 and 7, it's okay, but not the best. So looking at the driver's standings, we have Frisbee, who is still somehow in 3rd place in the driver's standings on 21 points. Estelin, she's down in P6, and in the constructors, Lag Bubble Racing is somehow still in 2nd place in the standings. So I will absolutely take that after what was a disastrous Grand Prix in the second one there. So I think that may well do this first episode of Motorsport Manager for today. If you want to see this as a career mode series, let me know down in the comments. If you have any suggestions as to like how I can improve, anything I'm doing wrong, let me know. Should I go all out on car development early on in the season, or maybe should I invest in young drivers? Let me know where I should put my focus for these cars, for the cars, for the development, for the engineers, all that kind of thing. Let me know, because I'm by no means the best player at this game. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. This has been something a little bit different for me. Never recorded an iOS kind of video before. And also in this kind of series, there's lots of talking. You probably can't tell, but I've just about lost my voice after doing just 1 episode. So I've got to say thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on this video if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.